Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll learn about what are lists in Python. Okay, so to start with, list is nothing but a data structure or a data type in which we can store collection of data, right? When I say collection of data, which means any type of other data can be stored within a single variable or a single data type. Let's try to take some example and understand. Let's say we have a information about some student stored in, let's say, three variables: name, which is John, age of John is, let's say, 20, and the percentage or percent of John is, let's say, 85.5, for example, right? Now there are three pieces of information that is we have stored in three different variables, right? But instead of doing this, can we store this into a single variable or a single collection of data so that it represent one student data, right? The answer is yes. Lists are a collection of items or data within them which can store any type of data. In this example of John, right, we can store all three information of this student together in a single group of data, which is list. Let's take an example how to do that. So let's say we call the variable as student, and lists are created, or lists can be created using a pair of square brackets. So data which you want to store in a list will be enclosed within a pair of square brackets, and the data will be comma separated with each other. For example, John, the age is 20 and the percent is 85.5, right? Now these three data is associated with a single student, right? So lists are in general created when you want to club the data together in a single entity, right? It can be created otherwise as well. Let's say you want to store n number of integers together, right? You want to store it in a single variable, you can store it in a comma separated list, right? And make sure it is enclosed within square brackets, right? Now, the student is the variable, a student is a list. Now, how to verify student as a list? Remember, what is the function for checking the data type of a variable? We think of type, right? We can do a type of student, and we can print student as well, so that we can get what student will contain, how it will be printed as. It will be printed as it is. We have created it, but let's check that. Let's run the code, run, and the file is lists in Python. We run that, and it says list, right? The type of the student variable is list, which means student variable is storing a list, which is a Python data type. And when we print student, it gives me the data in square bracket itself, the way it is created. All right. So that's what is a list. Now, one thing we understood about list is it can contain multiple values. If you observe it carefully, when we created this list student, it had a string, an integer, and a float, which means it can contain data which is of any data type. It can be an integer, it can be a float, it can be a string, it can be none, it can be Boolean, true, false values, and any data type is allowed as an item or an element of a list. These are called elements or items of a list, right? John is an element, 20 is an element, 85.5 is an element or item, right? Similar to strings, right? In strings, when we create strings, let's say name is a string, right? So what is string? String is a collection of characters or group of characters or sequence of characters, right? Similarly, lists are sequence of or collection of any data for that matter, right? So that's basically a comparison between a string and a list on a very basic level. Now, the other part is lists are, and with comparison with strings, they are ordered, right? Lists are in an order always. For example, John is in the first position, 20 is in the second position, 85.5 is in the third position. Let's say, take an example. For example, we have something called weeks or days of week, right? Days of week. Now, in this variable days of week, we can store all the days of the week inside a list. How? Let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right? Now, what we can say here, that the first day of my week is Monday. Some people start their days with Sunday. If you want that, you can put Sunday at the front, right? But let's start with Monday. So Monday is the first day of the week, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So what I'm trying to say, they are in an order, right? Now, how this order is decided? Again, similar to strings, we have positioning or indexing in strings, right? In lists as well, we have indexing. Now, how does the index work in lists? Again, similar to strings. So the first item or the first element is having the index 0. Tuesday has the index of 1, Wednesday index of 2, Thursday index of 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right? So each of the element has their index, and if you see and observe, it's a sequence or it is in order. Right? The way we create it, it is in that order. So every data will be associated with an index in a ordered manner. Right? Okay. Now let's check if lists have index, then obviously we can do indexing and fetch an element of a list, like how we can fetch a character of a string by using indexing. Yes, we can do that. How can we do it? Days of the week, and within square bracket, within the square bracket, we give the index for which we want to fetch or get the value. So let's say if I do days of the week of 0, now tell me, pause the video and think, what will be the output? It will be Monday. Let's run this. It is Monday. Right? Let's remove these. Right. It is Monday. Similarly, if you print index of, let's say, 4, again, what will be the output? Pause the video and think. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Friday will be the output, right? Because that's the index number 4. Because the index starts from 0 from left to right. Let's run this and we get Friday. Okay. Now let's say you want to print the last day of the week. Print last day of the week is, and we can use a string here, right? And here we can give, now what will be it? Days of the week of index number 6. Can we write 6 here? If you have a different answer in mind, maybe we'll come to that, right? So let's run this. It is last day of the week is Sunday. Now, if we have positive indexing, we should have negative indexing. What is negative index? We know from strings again. The negative indexing starts from the right side with -1, -2, -3, and so on and so forth till minus length. What is length? What is length in terms of strings? The number of characters present in the string. So what is length in terms of list? Length of a list is nothing but the number of items or elements in the list is called the length of the list. How to find out the length of the list? Same way, using the len function. So if I print len of days of week, and if I run this, I get 7 as the output, right? Because there are 7 elements in the list, right? Or 7 days in the week, and that's where we have stored them here, correct? You can again use the string to say there are 7 days in a week, and those kind of messages we can print. You can try that out, all right? And you can print, same thing you can print. Let's print this again, but this time let's use the negative indexing. So last day of the week is the last element of the list, which is can be represented as -1 in negative index. So here we are using last day of the week is positive with using positive indexing, here using negative indexing, right? You can comment the length part, or we can keep it as it is, no problem. Let's run this. So last of the week, day of the week is Sunday here, which is coming from the positive index. Last day of the week is Sunday here, which is coming from the negative index -1, and the length is 7. Again, length is the number of elements of the list. Index starts from 0 to length -1 from left to right, which is called positive indexing. The negative indexing starts from right to left in negative terms, right? -1, -2 till minus length it will go. So what did we learn in this video till now? What are lists? How we can create lists, where lists are created. Lists are created when we want to combine a similar type of data or connected data together, most probably. Unconnected data also can be stored in a list, no problem. But usually we do that. And we can do indexing in a list because they are in order. They have positioning or indexing with them. Using positive indexing, we can fetch the values. Using negative indexing also, we can fetch the values. And using the len function, we can get the total number of elements or length of the list, right? This is very similar to strings, right? So one more thing before we conclude this video. What if I do this? So days of week. And if I do, let's say 8. What is 8? I'm trying to fetch the element or the item at the 8th index. So what is the index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do we have anything at the 7th index or the 8th index that you're trying to fetch? There is no 8th index here. So what will happen? Pause the video and think. We have seen this before, right? In case of strings, we have seen this. So if we try to fetch this, right, let's comment all of these. Sorry. You can go to that line, press Control ? to comment it. Okay. All right. So if we try to print days of week and 8th index, there is no 8th index. Let's see what will happen. We'll get an error, right? We'll get index error, list index out of range. What does it mean? It means that the index that we are trying to use to fetch the element of this list days of week is out of the range of the list. The range of the index of this list is 0 to 6. Why? Because the length is 7. And the length is 7, the range of this indices will be 0, 1, 2, 3 till 6. And if we try to use an index which is not part of that range or which is not there in that list, we will get an index error, right? All right. So what did we learn? We learned what is list, how to create lists, indexing in list, and how to find the length of the list. In the next video, we'll continue with list itself. We'll see what are the other operations we can do on lists. Till then, see you.